New video of Alex Preddy is the man shot and killed by federal agents over the weekend. But this video is from another encounter that was more than a week before he was gunned down. The video was first posted by the news movement and appears to show Preddy, here in the brown jacket and hat, kicking out the taillight of an SUV.
All right, folks, buckle up. We're diving into a clip that perfectly encapsulates the absolute circus that is right-wing media trying to justify state-sanctioned violence. Seriously, the mental gymnastics here are absolute Olympic level. We're talking about Alex Preddy, a man shot and killed by federal agents, and the desperate attempts to smear his names using an old video. It's infuriating, it's transparent, and frankly, it's flat out pathetic. Let's get into it and pick apart these flimsy arguments, shall we?
Again, that is a new video featuring Alex Preddy in an entirely separate interaction with immigration enforcement. News movement obtained that video and its authenticity was confirmed by BBC. Now we'll show you more of that video in just a moment, but first, Cenk, does that new information change your mind about the shooting incident in which Alex Preddy was killed?
Not 1%. So 2 points about it. We'll talk more after we give you details, sort of reaction, et cetera. But one is it was 11 days beforehand. Are we all held accountable for what we did 11 days before we get shot? That had nothing to do with the shooting at all. But second of all, we're now killing people over taillights?
Okay, hold on a minute. Did you just hear that? We're now killing people over taillights? That line right there cuts through all the noise and gets to the heart of the matter. The sheer audacity of bringing up an 11-day-old video of minor property damage to somehow retroactively justify a fatal shooting is not just a reach. It's a complete abandonment of logic and due process. Are we seriously going to pretend that a minor scuffle from nearly 2 weeks prior is a legitimate pretext for lethal force in a completely separate incident? This isn't about accountability. It's about character assassination to deflect from the very real question surrounding why federal agents used deadly force that day. They're trying to muddy the waters, to make us forget that the primary concern here should be the actions of the agents on the day Alex Preddy was killed, not some unrelated incident from the past. It's a classic tactic. This is horrible. Demonize the victim to excuse the violence. But let's be clear. Breaking a taillight, while not ideal, is a far cry from a capital offense, from capital murder. If this is the new standard, then every single one of us is potentially marked for execution based on our prior or past minor infractions. It's a terrifying precedent that completely erodes the concept of justice and proportionality. We need to demand answers about the shooting itself, not get distracted by irrelevant, sensationalized side stories.
Well, look, here's what I want to know, and this is very relevant. Later in the show, we're going to talk about Ken Klippenstein's most recent reporting about the watch lists that Americans are being put on, including protesters. And so given the fact that Preddy had this interaction with immigration enforcement earlier, 11 days earlier, first of all, we still don't know the identities of the individuals who opened fire and killed Alex Preddy. And were those immigration enforcement officers, those, Border Patrol officers, the same ones that were in that vehicle that he kicked the taillight of? Like these are the kinds of things that need to be answered through an independent investigation. That being said, obviously, you shouldn't do what Preddy did in that video from 11 days earlier. You shouldn't do that, okay? Yeah. Obviously, that's not a good thing to do. That also doesn't justify gunning someone down.
Yeah. So, Anna, look, first of all, we definitely want the independent investigation, not just for Preddy, but for Renee Good as well.
Yes.
So that's super important. Secondly, if they had come out of the car, which they did, by the way, and they beat him down, and that's where they broke his ribs. So that's a whole other thing that they arguably be held accountable for. But if they had arrested him for doing property damage, yeah, I get it. That was property damage, right?
So let's actually watch the video because
but the last part is, as your dad would say, yes, but none of this is related to the shooting because it happened so long ago that, as your dad says, who cares?
Who cares?
Right. So, but okay, let's discuss.
Yeah. So here is more of the footage. Pay close attention. We'll give you some more details after we come out of it.
Agents then get out of their car and tackle him to the ground. The encounter lasts a few seconds before Preddy is let go. At one point, a gun is seen in his waistband, but it's unclear if agents saw it. Agents then deploy tear gas and walk away. In another video, we hear from Preddy moments after agents leave.
You okay? You okay? I'm okay. You okay? I'm okay. I'm okay. Are we all okay? Are we all safe? We okay?
Okay. So as you heard from the anchor, after the agents pepper spray him and whatever, they walk away. That would have been a good time to arrest him, no? Like, why didn't they arrest him? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, so ironically, it would have saved his life.
Yes, exactly. But
Right.
by the way, not only saved his life, which is very important, but on top of that, it's the appropriate protocol. Like, that is what they're supposed to do, but they didn't do that. Instead, they brutalized him and then they left.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not supposed to break his ribs. You're just supposed to arrest him. But look, I got one other thing out of that video. When everything is done and they leave, what's Preddy's first instinct? Go back to everybody else and go, are you okay? Are we all okay? Are we all safe? That is the instinct that he seems to have very, very consistently. He had it in the other incident. He has it as a guy who takes care of veterans, etc. Yeah, he's animated there. He's wrong to kicking the tire, come on, it's no big deal.
The taillight, yeah.
But the taillight, yeah, he broke it, I got it, right? So it's a minor crime, but yes, you could definitely arrest him for that. But overall, I still see a guy who's mainly looking to protect folks. And one other thing about it, to your point, Anna, he has a gun there. If they saw it, would they have killed him on the spot like they did the other time?
I don't know.
Right.
You can only speculate about that.
So in that case, it looks like they didn't see the gun, but that goes towards what the Second Amendment guys have been saying. Wait, if they'd seen the gun, would they have killed him on the spot at that point? Wait a minute, if we're carrying a gun at all, are we marked for execution by these guys?
I don't know.
Right? Like if you're anywhere near them, etc. And then lastly, just from that portion of the video, guys, did you see what our government officials look like or law enforcement look like there? They look like stormtroopers.
Yeah, they do.
They get out of the car, they've got gas masks on, they've got the fatigues, and they're pointing all sorts of different things at American citizens. Is this what we wanted America to be? This ain't anywhere near what I want America to be.
So President Trump appeared to want to bring the temperature down after the Alex Preddy shooting. In fact, he went against what Stephen Miller had said about Preddy. Preddy was referred to as a terrorist and an assassin. But following the release of that video, Trump retruthed the following. So it's a post by someone else. He retruthed it. And it says, it's a retruth of someone else's retruth. This is getting a little bit comical. But anyway, video just dropped of Alex Preddy spitting on and attacking federal agents in Minneapolis on January 13th, exactly 1 week before. It wasn't 1 week, it was 11 days, which was confirmed by BBC. This wasn't some peaceful protester. He was a domestic terrorist, and Trump retruthed it. So Megyn Kelly also.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So now, with this, you want to talk about Israelification. Now we're down to, if you break a taillight, you should be executed? No, that's not anywhere near a domestic terrorist. You could say, hey, I don't like those actions. That's not a crazy thing to say, right? But saying because of that, he should have been executed 11 days later is nuts.
Look, I want to clarify why I don't like those actions. I don't like those actions because he's needlessly putting himself in danger by doing that.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't do that. These federal agents are super militarized. Please just, I have no problem with people protesting, obviously, okay? But please be safe. Be safe and don't make dumb decisions. Anyway, Megyn Kelly weighed in and said Alex Preddy was itching for another confrontation with Border Patrol, whom he'd been stalking, harassing, and terrorizing.
Come on, Megyn. Terrorizing?
Stalking?
They're in the middle of the city. What do you mean stalking?
He had been victimizing them. His felonies
Come on.
His felonies are on tape. He was reckless and it cost him his life. Find another poster boy, illegal loving leftists. Okay.
No, we won't. No, he was not victimizing poor little Border Patrol. It's beyond absurd. By the way, how weak and soft are the right-wingers making these arguments? Oh my God, you kicked out my taillight. I'm terrorized. Oh my God, you have a perfectly legal weapon that you have not at all drawn and we have already taken off of you. I'm terrorized. You yelled at me, I'm terrorized. Oh, a woman is driving 10 feet away from me at 2 miles per hour. I'm terrorized. You guys sound unbelievably weak. Okay, so you can do whatever you want with that fact, but that's what we're all hearing. We can, oh, I don't want anything to, oh my God, I'm so scared. All right, guys, I don't think that's the win that you think it is.
Unbelievably weak. Yep, that's a phrase that perfectly sums up this whole terrorized narrative from the right wing. They're out here with full tactical gear, gas masks, and automatic weapons, looking like something out of a sci-fi movie. And they're crying about being terrorized by a guy kicking a taillight, or heaven forbid, yelling at them? Give me a break. This isn't about protecting law enforcement. It's about manufacturing outrage to justify excessive force and a complete lack of accountability. These are the same folks who preach personal responsibility and don't tread on me. But the moment a federal agent feels a boo-hoo, suddenly it's a national crisis demanding lethal action. It's a pathetic display of victimhood from the very institutions designed to wield power. Their terror is our reality. While they're clutching their pearls over a broken taillight, real people are being brutalized. And in Preddy's case, killed. But these terrorized agents, it's exposing the absolute hypocrisy and the dangerous double standards at play. They want to be seen as tough, but they sound like the most fragile snowflakes when confronted with even the slightest challenge to their authority. It's not like they're weak. It's a dangerous delusion.
And besides which, no one's opinion matters, okay? Megyn Kelly's opinion doesn't matter. Tim Pool's opinion doesn't matter. Our opinion doesn't matter. You know what matters? An independent investigation of what happened on the day Alex Preddy was shot and killed by Border Patrol agents. That's the only thing that matters. And the real question is whether there will be a true independent investigation into Alex Preddy and Renee Good's killing. And that's the thing that I'm concerned about the most because, certainly when it comes to Renee Good, every sign from the federal government indicates that they just want to bury it. With Alex Preddy, they're, pretending to do an investigation from my read of it, and they're blocking the state from being able to conduct an investigation. Now, both Kelly and Tim Pool have since stated that they believe that Preddy has committed suicide by cop. And when asked about the footage at a CNN town hall, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey stated that it wasn't relevant. And I agree, the video from 11 days earlier is not relevant to the investigation into his fatal shooting. Here's what Frey said, or Frey. Is it Frey or Frey? I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways too.
Okay, well anyway, he says this. I think we should be talking about the circumstances that actually led to the killing and what took place and those circumstances. Totally agree. And there are other reactions, including a pretty terrifying reaction or an advice for the Trump administration from Stephen Miller. But before we get to that, any thoughts?
Yeah, last thing here is, so let me get this right. He spit on the car, he kicked the tire, and he kicked the taillight. So that, because he's doing that to poor law enforcement's vehicle. Now, I said earlier in the video, I think he should have been arrested for that because that's property damage. But you guys are the right wing there, Kelly, Tim Pool, et cetera, are saying, no, don't arrest him for slight property damage. He's a domestic terrorist. Okay, let's take your definition then. If we accept your definition, then you have to accept that every person that tried to break into the Capitol on January 6th was a domestic terrorist. Like that, there's no arguing that. You can't say kicking a taillight is domestic terrorism, but punching a cop in the face, beating him with a pole, pepper spraying him is not domestic terrorism while you're trying to break into the Capitol?
And there it is, folks. The absolute unadulterated hypocrisy laid bare for all of us to see. You're going to tell me that kicking a taillight makes you a domestic terrorist worthy of execution, but then turn around and excuse the actual insurrectionists who breached the Capitol, assaulted police officers, and chanted "Hang Mike Pence" as patriots or tourists? Are you kidding me right now? That's crazy. The mental gymnastics required to hold these two positions simultaneously would snap a normal person's brain. It's not just a double standard. It's a glaring neon-lit sign that their definitions of terrorism and justice are entirely political and self-serving. When it's someone that don't like, a minor infraction become a death sentence. When it's their own, actual violence against the state is hand-waved away. This is about law and order? No, it's not. It's about selective outrage and weaponizing the justice system against perceived enemies. It undermines every principle of fairness and equality under the law. We deserve a justice system that applies standards consistently across everyone, no matter if you're left or right, Republican or Democrat, not one that shifts its definitions based on who's involved. The sheer audacity of this argument is a slap in the face to anyone who believes in actual justice. It's time to call out this bullshit for what it really truly is.
And indeed, and you're chanting, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence"? Nah, no. I'm tired of the hypocrisy and the double standards and, oh, this for that, but the other thing for that. We believe in keeping things legal. We've said it 1 billion times, don't throw bricks, don't start fires, don't kick the taillight, etc. And also, if you're law enforcement, don't be such a, like, I could use other words here, but like, oh, I'm so fragile. Oh, okay, you kicked my taillight. 11 days later, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. Okay, by the way, it might not be the same guys, etc. No, by the way, law enforcement.
Careful in the way we talk about this, Cenk. It's really important to be accurate and not draw conclusions that don't exist yet. We don't have any evidence for it.
Hold on. Well, the conclusion is they murdered him. They put 10 bullets in him, 5 after they paused and took a lunch break, and they're like, oh yeah, like we haven't killed him enough yet, let's kill him again, right? So we know that happened. We don't know that it's connected to the taillight at all, but my point, Anna, is Megan and Tim or others like, hey, you hit his taillight 11 days ago. He should be murdered as a domestic terrorist. Well, shut up then, okay? Then everybody at January 6th should have been murdered by the cops. That's an insane thing to say.
So there you have it, folks. The right-wing playbook for justifying state violence. Distort, deflect, and demonize. It's clear as day, and we shouldn't let them get away with it. Period. We need independent investigations, accountability for law enforcement, and a constant application of justice, not this political motivated nonsense. So tell me, what do you think? Are they really terrorized by a broken taillight, or is this just another excuse to maintain unchecked power? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with all your friends, and subscribe for more breakdowns of the political narratives shaping our world. As always, stay informed, stay critical, and keep fighting the good fight.